There is a profound truth embedded in the fabric of our reality, one that has been whispered through the ages by those who understand the nature of energy, identity, and creation. It is the understanding that the world does not respond to desperate action, nor does it reward the frantic chase of something that feels just beyond reach. The world responds to being, to embody a state of worthiness, to hold a frequency of power, to know without question that what is meant for you must find its way. It is in this knowing that true attraction is born. There is an old paradigm that has kept many in a cycle of exhaustion. It whispers that in order to have, one must chase, that in order to be seen, one must prove, that in order to be loved, one must seek tirelessly. But this is a distortion of truth. This is an illusion designed to keep the mind bound to an external reality, forgetting the most important law, that the outer world is but a reflection of the inner world. And so, if the internal is a storm of need, of wanting, of chasing, the external world will simply mirror it back, showing only more things to need, more things to chase, more things to grasp at, but never truly hold. But there is another way, a way that the truly powerful understand, a way that requires nothing but the ability to align, to trust, to be. The moment a being shifts from the energy of pursuit to the energy of embodiment, everything changes. Because queens do not chase, they attract. They sit in the fullness of their being, aware of their worth, certain of their presence, radiating the kind of energy that commands without words, that draws without effort, that magnetizes without motion. It is not arrogance. It is not indifference. It is the understanding that the moment you truly become something, you no longer need to reach for it. It comes to you. Every great manifestation begins with identity. The moment one believes themselves to lack, the universe agrees. The moment one believes themselves to be abundant, the universe delivers evidence of abundance. If a queen were to chase, she would no longer be a queen. She would be a seeker, a wanderer, someone who does not yet know that what she desires is already within her, already woven into the fabric of her being, waiting only for her to remember. So the first shift is to move from wanting to knowing, from seeking to being, from effort to embodiment. This shift is not about external movement. It is about internal transformation. It is about becoming the living expression of the thing you wish to have. You do not chase love. You become love. You do not run after success. You embody success. You do not beg for recognition. You walk as one who already knows their own value. It is a radical thing to release the need to chase. It requires trust. It requires faith. It requires an unwavering commitment to the reality that what is aligned with you will always find you. There is no force in the universe greater than the power of alignment. The magnetism of a being in their full power is undeniable. They do not need to convince. They do not need to pursue. They do not need to prove. They need only to be. Think of the great forces of nature. The sun does not chase the earth, yet the earth revolves around it. The ocean does not beg the moon to pull its tides, yet the tides rise in response. The flower does not run after the bee, yet the bee is drawn to its nectar. This is the nature of true power. It is not found in the frantic motion of seeking, but in the still, undeniable presence of being. A queen knows this. She knows that the more she settles into her own energy, the more the world responds to her. The more she aligns with her own frequency, the more she becomes a magnet for the things that resonate with it. And the more she trusts in her own worth, the less she concerns herself with proving it. There is an energy within each of us that either repels or attracts. It is not about words, nor is it about action alone. It is about vibration. The energy of desperation repels. The energy of certainty attracts. The energy of lack creates more lack. The energy of abundance calls in more abundance. This is not philosophy. This is physics. This is the very foundation of how reality responds to consciousness. Imagine a woman who knows her worth. She does not chase affection, for she is already whole. She does not grasp for validation, for she is already certain of her value. She does not beg for opportunities, for she is already a beacon for them. And because she walks in this truth, the world bows to her. It offers her the very things she once thought she had to run after. Because now, she is no longer running. She is allowing. But to reach this state, one must first unlearn. Unlearn the belief that effort alone is what creates success. Unlearn the idea that chasing something makes it more attainable. Unlearn the conditioning that has told you that your worth is outside of you, waiting to be found in another's approval, in an external validation, in a distant achievement. And then, one must step into a new way of being, not just in thought, but in action, not just in desire, but in embodiment. If you wish to be respected, walk with the posture of respect. If you wish to be valued, hold yourself with value. If you wish to be loved, become love. Not in the sense of seeking it from others, but in the sense of radiating it from within. There is a truth that many spend lifetimes trying to grasp. What you seek is already within you. The external world is only ever responding to the internal state. And so, if you want something to come to you, the answer is never to chase. It is to become. Look at history. The most powerful, the most magnetic, the most revered have always been those who understood this. They did not beg to be noticed. They did not demand attention. They became so undeniable in their presence that the world had no choice but to recognize them. And so, the question is not whether you are capable of attracting what you desire. The question is whether you are willing to become it first, to shift your state, to align your energy, to know so deeply that what you seek is already yours, that the very act of chasing it becomes unnecessary. The universe is always listening. It is always responding, and it does not respond to words alone, but to frequency. If you radiate lack, it gives you lack. If you radiate power, it gives you power. If you radiate desperation, it gives you more things to be desperate for. And if you radiate certainty, the things you desire begin to orbit around you, drawn in by the sheer force of your presence. This is the secret. This is the power. This is the truth that has always been waiting for you to remember. Queens do not chase. They attract, not by force, not by effort, not by demand, but by the simple, undeniable, unwavering certainty of their own worth.